What is up, Jaguar students? It's your friendly neighborhood math teacher, Mr. Allred, and I am bringing it to you live with Unit 2, mini lesson number 6, about adding and subtracting fractions. This is going to be the best Unit 2 mini lesson number 6 you're going to see all year. I promise you that. Okay, this is entry number 10 in your table of contents. Today is October 17th, 2017, and I would like to welcome you to your 10th entry in the table of contents, adding and subtracting fractions and mixed numbers. I've got 2 learning goals for you today. You should be able to explain how to add and subtract fractions and mixed numbers, both positive and negative, by the end of today's lesson. And you should be able to solve word problems involving fractions. All right, here we go. The first thing we need to do if we want to be successful with adding and subtracting fractions is reviewing how to find the least common multiple. Remember, you will have to do this when the denominators are different. Yesterday, we said what a denominator was. Tell Edpuzzle. Great job. The denominator is the bottom number. So whenever the denominators of 2 fractions are different, you have to find the least common multiple. Okay? For example, if one of them was 3/8 and one was 1/12, you would list the multiples of each, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. And for 12, 12, 24, 36, 48. The lowest number they have in common is the least common multiple. So if I was doing this example right here with 12 and 18, okay, I would list the multiples of 12, 12, 24, 36, 48, and etc. And then I would list the multiples of 18, 18 and 36. And as soon as I found that they had one in common, the smallest multiple they have in common, that is their LCM, their least common multiple. That's a quick review. Tell Edpuzzle what you think the least common multiple for 10 and 12 is. List the multiples of each, okay, and then tell Edpuzzle what you think it is. Hopefully, you determined that the LCM of 10 and 12 was 60. All right. Mr. Allred and Ms. Kearney have come up with some steps for you that you can use to add and subtract fractions. The first thing you're going to want to do is convert those mixed fractions into improper fractions if you need to. If there aren't any mixed fractions, obviously you don't have to do that. Then, if the denominators are different, you're going to find the least common multiple, like we just said, the LCM of the denominators between the fractions. Okay? You're going to want to multiply the numerators by the same value that you multiplied each denominator by to find that LCM, okay? And then you're going to have 2 fractions with the same denominator, making it really easy to add using the same process we used when we added integers, okay? As always, math is like building a house. We keep building on ideas. All the rules from Unit 1 are still the same. So everything we talked about when we added integers with the positive and negative chips, all that jazz, is still the same here when you're adding and subtracting fractions, okay? When you're done and you think you have a final numerator, keep the denominator the same. Don't change the denominator because that just represents the number of pieces it takes to make up one whole. But you're going to write your answer in simplest form if you have to, okay? Mr. Allred is not a fan of improper fractions, okay? So we're going to try to leave our improper fractions, convert those to mixed numbers, all right? Don't write your summary yet because Mr. Allred is going to show you one example. Okay. On this back it says you try, I realize that, but we're looking here at negative 1/3 plus negative 1/4. Oh no! The denominators are different. That means I need to find the least common multiple between 3 and 4. I know, because I have a math degree, that the multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so on. And that the multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12, and so on. Therefore is a fancy word for so. So I know that their least common multiple has to be 12. That's the smallest number, the smallest multiple they both have in common. So I'm going to convert both of these fractions into 12s. I know that 3 goes into 12 4 times. So I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom of this fraction both by 4. I'm going to convert that negative 1/3 into negative 4/12. And I know that 4, the denominator of the second fraction, goes into 12 3 times. So multiply the top and the bottom of that fraction both by 3, and that would turn into negative 3/12. So now I have negative 4/12 and negative 3/12. Now my denominators are the same. I have represented both fractions as being out of the same whole, Okay, and now I can add my numerators together. So I'm gonna look at -4 plus -3. I'm gonna treat it just like a Unit 1 problem. And I remember way back in Unit 1 when we added two negatives, we got a bigger negative, a colder or deeper negative. So -4/12 plus -3/12 has to be -7/12. Okay, you will find certainly that numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 might get more difficult as you go, and certainly some of these word problems might be more difficult. But if you stay true to those steps that we wrote on the front side of your notes, okay, you should be good to go. All I want you to do tonight for homework is I want you to try number 2, okay, and I want you to tell Edpuzzle what you got for number 2. After that, I want you to go home. Get out of your room and see your family. Tell your family that you love them. Okay. Go outside and play a little bit. Stay off the video games for the night. Okay. Just try to have a really enjoyable time for a 12 or 13-year-old kid. Think you can do that? Yeah. I think you can do it too. All right. Make it a great day or not. The choice is yours. Remember, of all my students I've ever taught, you are one of them. Thanks. Have a great day.